Thank you all for being here today. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is David Selberg, and I'm the Executive Director of Pacific Pride Foundation. We're the Gay, Lesbian, Transgender, Bisexual Community Center in Santa Barbara County, and we work very closely with law enforcement, particularly the Santa Barbara Police Department. The details of the crime or what can be shared, there is a fair amount of aspects to this that need to remain confidential as the investigation is just beginning. And Deputy Chief Mannix of the Santa Barbara Police Department will be making a brief statement. And what I want to start out by saying, what's most important as something like this occurs is that as a community, our hearts go out to the victims, their families, and their friends of this horrific event. I'd like to take a moment to point out some of our local elected representatives that are here. That's important. The people that we elect to office, that they're here and that they're accountable and that they show up is critical. We have Raymond Mora from Congresswoman Capp's office. We have Hillary Blackerby from Doss Williams' office. We have two city council members here, Kathy Murillo and Randy Rouse from Santa Barbara City Council. We have Janet Sanchez, also from Assembly Speaker Williams' office. And I think I'm touching on everyone. We also have representation from the District Attorney's office. This gathering today is not a rally, it's a press conference, and the nature of it is quite serious. The definition of a hate crime is very clear and direct. It sends a message. A hate crime sends a message not just to the victims, but to an entire community. And we're here to say that we are not afraid and that we're standing by these victims and our community, and that Santa Barbara is no place for hate.
Thank you. Good morning. First off, I'd like to thank David Selberg for getting right on this and bringing the community together less than 24 hours after the press release went out about this horrific crime. And just to say that this city, the city of Santa Barbara, this community does not tolerate hate crimes, period. And this community is an inclusive one. You can just look even up and down State Street today, where we always have flags of different organizations that commemorate the community of Santa Barbara. And this week we have the rainbow flag commemorating Gay Santa Barbara throughout downtown. So this is a city that appreciates its entire community, that does not tolerate hate. And I'm so appreciative that our own police department has been working for quite a while, and most recently doing trainings with Pacific Pride Foundation and Just Communities on sensitivity training related to sexual orientation, on issues related to hate crimes, on recognizing it and doing whatever we can to prosecute hate crimes if and when they happen. This is hopefully a very rare situation. It is a very tragic situation, and it's something that we will not tolerate as a community. And I really appreciate everyone who's standing here behind me and those who are listening and who care that this is something where we need to stand up and speak out and not fall away into the shadows because of fear or intolerance. So I appreciate everyone here. Mr. Selberg mentioned a number of elected officials. He said supervisor. I want to recognize it's Supervisor Carbajal, who's also here. And we have our former Assembly member, Hannah Beth Jackson, who's here as well. So with that, I think I'm going to give that over to Deputy Chief Frank Mannix, who'll give us a little more of an account of what had happened. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. In the early morning hours of New Year's Day at approximately 1:45 in the morning, two men were walking on Chapala St near the intersection of Ortega St, and they were assaulted. They were assaulted because of nothing that they did wrong. They were assaulted because of who they were. There's evidence to indicate that the motive for the assault was hate. Hate crimes of this nature are not going to be tolerated by the Santa Barbara Police Department. The assault was immediately brought to the attention of Chief Sanchez. Unfortunately, he could not be here today because he's out of town on a bereavement leave, but he's been actively involved in the investigation. He's been in regular contact with Captain Altavilla and the rest of the Detective Bureau, staying well informed as to what is going on in this case. As of the evening of the assault, 2 men were injured and 1 required significant treatment at a hospital. I understand they've both been released. We have a video of the incident. I encourage everyone to look at that video. We are very much interested in receiving leads from the public. Any information about the identities of the suspect would be very helpful in this case. We are very determined to make an arrest in this case, and the investigation is ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Mannix. Also, I spoke last evening with Joyce Dudley, our district attorney, and she has assured us that she will be working closely with the police department and with bringing to full prosecution any form of hate crime as the investigation unfolds. And at this point, I'd like to open it up to a brief number of questions. If anyone in the media has those questions, the Deputy Chief and I can respond.
Where this took place, in the morning, maybe the chief will speak to this. There were people probably maybe that saw a scuffle or fight, maybe didn't see exactly that it was of this nature or of this magnitude. Who are the people that should be thinking, was I at that restaurant? Was I walking down that street? Was I in that taxi? And even speak about the taxi company that was in New York as well. And to recall where they were, maybe they saw this brewing and then.
Thank you. The assault occurred in the intersection of Chapala and Ortega Street, and we have videotape. The videotape shows a taxi company. We have a unit at the Santa Barbara Police Department which permits taxi cabs. We are going through our records to see if we can identify that taxi cab driver. This occurred again at 1:42 in the morning, New Year's Day. If you were driving this cab at that time, please get in contact with the police department because the assault was occurring just a few feet away from your car.
The Riviera company?
You know, I don't have the name of the company.
Was the restaurant open?
You know, I don't know if it was open or not.
Did it transpire relatively quickly, and was there much dialogue, or was it all, it was 30 seconds, 60 seconds?
It was very quick, very quick. We understand some words were uttered, which leads us to believe it was a hate crime, and then the assault immediately transpired thereafter.
Did anything happen prior to that in a nightclub or down the street that people might have seen a half a block away from it?
We don't have any indications of that. I can only say that we have 3 white male suspects who were caught on video. They all had shaved heads. If you had seen people who match this description, please bring it to our attention.
Did anyone step in and try and render assistance, or be able to identify which direction they went, which street? Or
yes, some bystanders came by and tried to intervene and disperse what was happening.
Any direction of travel, anything like that?
I don't have the directions.
It just seems like that time of night on, because it was early on Christmas Day, there had been a lot of people, or New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve, there had been a lot of people that participate witnesses.
That's correct, and we are interviewing those people. So, and if anyone has seen it and has not been contacted by the police department, you are encouraged to contact Detective Ken Kushner of the Santa Barbara Police Department and bring that information to our attention.
Let me reiterate Ken Kushner, the detective's phone number. His number is 805-897-2345.